Okay, before this video gets started, Jerry Lynn, if you are watching this, don't. Please wait until a week or two from now, then you can watch this video. I don't want to spoil all the fun stuff that's inside it for you. You'll learn all about it later this week. Please do not watch this video, Jerry Lynn. Everybody else, please continue. Hey guys, welcome back. So today we've got kind of a funky one, but I think it's still going to make for a pretty good video. For those of you who don't know, my fiance Hillary works at a sports bar called Rondeo's Pizzeria. And today, actually, as this video comes out, which I think is January 6th, one of their employees, one of the girls she mainly serves now, her name is Jerry Lynn, who's actually a close personal friend of mine as well as Hillary's. I've known Jerry Lynn longer than Hillary has, actually. I've known her since probably 2012, maybe a little sooner, 2011, something like that. I've known her for at least 10 years, maybe more. She is celebrating today her 20th year working at Rondeo's, which is so cool. And so the owner of Rondeo's, she knows that I paint and I've done some stuff there at the restaurant for them. And so she wanted to put something together special for Jerry Lynn. And so that's what we're going to do today. They wanted to kind of have a commemorative plaque for her as a thank you for working as long as she has, and things like that. And so that's what we're going to do today. Today we're going to make this commemorative plaque for Jerry Lynn, celebrating her 20 years of working at this restaurant. So it's going to be a little funky, but we're going to hop right into it. So right off the gate, you'll notice that I'm not doing this on a canvas or a piece of paper. I'm doing this on a pizza pail. Basically, because Rondeo's is a pizzeria and sports bar, they wanted to do kind of a unique plaque for Jerry Lynn. And so what they asked me to do was paint a pizza onto this pail, and we're going to turn that into a commemorative, design for Jerry Lynn to take home with her. So my first step here is to kind of get a white base coat down. You can see me painting a white circle. Basically, I'm going to do that, let it dry, and then we're going to hop into the fun stuff. One of the first things I want to do here is, even though I'm working on something that I'm not used to, I still want to work from back to front. So you can see me, I put a little bit of the crust in, but then I realized I should put down the shadow that's going to be underneath it first. So you'll see I did a little dark outline, and then I'm going to come in and do the crust. Now for something like this that's going to hang up on the wall, I'm not super concerned with 100% photorealistic painting, okay? And so that's not really my goal here. So I'm just going to kind of get correct textures and get the colors pretty accurate. So you can see I started with my crust here, and then we're going to move on to a little bit of the sauce that's hanging out of the edges, and then the cheese. And we'll just kind of work back and forth with this step until we get some good color variation for our cheese and also some good warmth to our pizza sauce.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before the new. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed. wish I knew.
So when we came up with the idea for this, the pizza that the owner of Rondeo's wanted me to do had a couple toppings on it. It had pepperonis, it had little bits of like halves of cherry tomato, and some basil. And so that's what we're gonna do, because that's makes for a nice looking pizza. Not only that, but that's also what she asked me to paint, and so that's what I'm gonna paint for her. So you can see me here putting in my first dark coat of pepperoni, and then an alarm went off on my phone. And so I stopped recording. And I'm so dumb. I started painting again to continue my video and didn't hit record right away. So you'll see a couple pepperonis popped in here. It's not the end of the world. I'm just going to keep working on them. So you can see here that once I got all those in, I'm going to put in little specks of green. I think that's just little bits of basil that may be coming through the pizza. And then we're going to work on the coloration for our pepperoni. We're going to do, when pepperoni cooks, most of the time, it gets a little domey and it bowls up. So that's kind of what I'm going to go with. It's going to look like there's a bit of a dome in the center, and then it dips around and curls back up in the edges. And so I just want some kind of consistency. So I'm going to do that to every pepperoni. Now this is the time where I start thinking about my light source. This is going to be hanging up on a wall in theory. And so in order for the light source to make sense, I want to make it from above. And so I'm taking into account where I would hang this if it were me. And I'm going to go ahead and light the pepperonis from roughly above them, so that it looks like there's actually a pizza sitting on this pizza pail hanging against the wall. So the next step in our process is to do the little cherry tomatoes. I'm going to have a couple of them face down, a couple of them face up. You can see they're not really that much different in color from the pepperonis. Where I'm going to get the main difference here is going to be how I render them. So they're going to be a little more shiny than the pepperonis are. They're going to be a little smaller and a little more bright red, but pretty similar in shape and color. So I just want to make sure they're different enough that it's not something where you kind of get confused looking at them. Onto the basil, I painted the shadows in underneath them first, and then I'll go on top with my darkest green, and I'll add lighter colors on top of it so that I can get some good highlights and definition into the shapes of my basil leaves as well. And then from here, it's basically just gonna be kind of touch-ups. So you'll see me adding some little more details around, maybe touching up the edge where the cheese meets the crust, have the sauce a little more split up and splattered around, darkening some of my darks, and eventually adding some of my brightest highlights. Because pizza can be greasy from time to time, especially with pepperonis on it, I want my pepperoni to be a little bit shiny, like they've got some oil and some grease coming out of them and pooling in on top of them and things like that. So you'll see they're a little shiny here. It's not really going to be anything crazy, but just enough of an effect where my darks are really dark, my lights are really light. That's going to help to amplify the realism and how we perceive this painting as being more realistic. So the contrast is higher, closer to how we see in real life, and that's going to help me just kind of shortcut the process of making it look realistic. So, because I said earlier this is a commemorative plaque, we do have to do some lettering. And this is kind of where I started having a lot of fun with this painting. I mean that sarcastically. So initially, I intended to cut out some vinyl letters and stick them onto this. My mom has a nice Cricut and she's got a really cool setup for doing vinyl and heat transfer and all those sorts of things. So I took this over to her house and we tried to attach some vinyl letters. However, that didn't work very well. They didn't want to stick to the surface as well as we would have hoped. And unfortunately, in the process, as you can see here, I did rip some of my paint off. Now, this could have been fixed in the first place by properly priming the surface, but I didn't do that because I didn't think about it and I am dumb. So you can see I have to go in and repaint. Now, I didn't film any of my repainting process I was frustrated. I wasn't sure if I was even going to put it in the video or make it a video, but we persisted and we eventually got to this point. So here is what I wanted it to look like. I had designed some words and I had picked out letters that I thought would look nice on the plaque, and because they didn't stick very well, I decided to hand paint them, and I got this as the result. Awesome, right? And by awesome, I mean completely illegible. Oh no. So for the third time, I'm going to be painting this pizza. Once again, I didn't record anything, but I painted over the tops of all of our letters, and I'm going to redo the whole process. I reconvened with Jill, the owner, and we kind of talked about what I think would look nice and what she thinks would look nice, and we decided that the most legible part of that last step was the big letters. And so we're going to have just the things that are in big letters on the front where the pizza goes. The 20 years and Jerry Lynn's name and the Rondeo's logo. And everything else we're going to actually put onto the back. So I'm going to go ahead now and do that. Unfortunately, once again, I didn't film it, but I redid the whole pizza essentially, and then hand painted all of these letters. And here is the final result for the front side. Ugh, hallelujah. I think I'm done. I wanted to do a little bit more of a pop on some of these, and so I came in with my white pen, which you guys know I love so much, and I outlined all of these letters that I did. And I think that this looks pretty good. And so, like I said, it is a commemorative plaque. And so, on the back side, we decided to do some more hand lettering. Now, it's hand lettered, it's not perfectly level or even, but I think it still gets the effect across, and it tells us all the things we need to know, and we'll put that right here. All right, so now I'm gonna go grab my pizza pail and we'll check this whole thing out and we'll finish this video up. All right, here we go. So here is our finished commemorative plaque. This is the front side with the pizza and some of my larger letters, and then we'll flip it around to the back side where you can see all of the niceties that I wrote on it for her. I think this is definitely the best of both worlds. There's no way that I could have got all of these little letters to stand out on the front side of this pizza. And at the same time, if I did, I would have blocked so much of this pizza that I worked so hard to paint that we would be losing some of the cool, fun details that we have behind it. So overall, I think this was our best bet. I kind of hoped that we would go this way in the beginning, but I just wanted to make everybody happy. And so we didn't quite start this way, but I'm glad we ended here because this looks really good. I'm very happy with this result. And hopefully on Friday night, we're going to go bring this to Jerry Lynn, and I think she's absolutely going to love it. I don't know how I'm going to hide this video from her, but maybe we'll do some kind of honor system thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy this video, go ahead and do me a favor. Hit the like, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is a good final result? Would you have preferred one of the other ones? I'm pretty partial to this one. I think it turned out really well. Am I so stupid for not priming the surface properly the first time? Yeah, I am. I know. It's okay. You can tell me in the comments how dumb I am if you'd like to. But I think that still, at the end of the day, it's a successful painting. One more time, I'll show you guys. Nice big on the whole screen. Front side, back side. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.